Hey everybody, thanks. This is Paranormal Extraction and I am Zoe Starr and welcome to my show. Today we have something very, very interesting on. Today we have Gary White and we are going to be talking about one step in heaven and one foot in heaven, sorry, and 1 foot in hell. Very, very interesting conversation. I've spoke to Gary and my mind was blown. So I think you guys are going to really like this today. So I can't wait. Let's check it out. Hey, Gary, I am so glad that you're on today. You have such an interesting story. And, 1 foot in heaven and 1 foot in hell. Wow. I could really relate to when we always talk before, which I do with everybody, to your story and what you've gone through. So why don't you start and wherever you want, and let's just go for it.
Okay. Thank you, Zoe, for having me on your show.
Well,
Greatly
thank
appreciate
you. Thank you.
it. First, the 1 foot Buddhism and
Oh,
1 foot planet
Buddhism.
firmly in hell. That's basically the Buddhism is my spiritual side. I'm an extraterrestrial contactee, and they changed my life. Before that, my life was hell. I was a party animal. I lived like Ozzy Osbourne. I played in bands. I was homeless for 10 years. It's been a long road to get to where I'm at, 60 years old. I remember my father, when I turned 60 here last December, I posted on Facebook that my father, I remember being about 19, telling me, "You'll never live to be 25 years old," because I was a pretty crazy kid. And it's been through a lot. So that's what that's about. Um, Outside of that, it's all about these ETs and what I've learned from them. So,
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit. I just want to talk about a little bit about the experience of, the 1 foot in hell. And I know you just and I like what you did. I mean, because you went really fast. You didn't like really, really get into it. But, a lot of us, so-called normies out there that pretend, that's what I call it, that their life is, looks like this fairy tale, really isn't. I think we all go through the hell part of our lives. And in one way or another, one person may think hell is getting rid of their jet. They can't fly their jet anymore. And the next person is wondering where their next $5 is going to come from. So I really like that aspect about you talking about how horrific your life was, and your parent telling you that at 25, my God, and the fact that, you were homeless. I mean, that's just absolutely horrific. You had a really good story about, I think it was about when you got fed, and these miracles that did happen to help you survive, you know. So, and then you've kind of come to this point now where your life is great. So go ahead and get into more about whatever you want to get into. I just wanted to kind of explain that because it's important to me that people don't think that, oh my God, okay, I just heard 3 sentences, and they don't really listen. And it's important. I think it is. So good for you. Congratulations. And so let's talk about your wonderful experiences.
okay. Um, well, I was a party animal. I ended up living in the back of a truck. It was 10 years. That's when these extraterrestrials made the breakthrough with me, Zoe. And it was through two what I call near death experiences. I didn't die. I felt that I was dying. It was like your brain's flipping upside down in your head. I lay down in the back of the truck and accepted, okay, the fact that I'm going to lay down and I'm going to die. I lay down, face down, and all of a sudden the voice starts talking to me. They show me a creative river or a creative field, I guess you could call it, that's around our planet that we tap into. Okay. They showed me a song that I wrote and a song by Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
About the bull. Wow. Well, they showed me.
No, it's not the one where they say F you through the whole thing, is it?
Let don't think so. I don't think it's wrong. It's a very radio, it's been on the radio.
Yeah, okay.
Very wrong. So they showed me how I tapped into this creative belt. They tapped into the creative belt, but it comes out of us colored by our personality. Okay?
Interesting.
So they give me a song. I'm face down in this truck, and they're giving me this music. And I ask, can I have cellos and violins? Cellos and violins come in. And okay, can I have Jimi Hendrix? Jimi Hendrix starts singing his voice. Different musicians I ask for, okay? Then all of a sudden I start singing to this song, okay? And then I had to get up for some odd reason, and they were gone. And I'm all, wow. I tried for months, Zoe. How can I get this communication with whatever was back? And I couldn't. Then about 9 months later, I start to go through it again, the head rush, the flipping, brain flipping. I'm dying. I lay down in my truck. They go, hey, Gary, how are you? They start answering all kinds of questions, you know? I had a ton of questions. They're answering these questions, and I'm going, okay, I need to get up, and I need to answer the call of nature. Living in the back of a truck, okay? So I get up, I'm doing this, and they go, okay, you need to get back in your truck because there's a cop coming. I get back in the truck, I look through the crack in my window, sure enough, a police car goes by. I'm
Wow.
all, wow,
Wow.
that's interesting. So I tell them, you know, I need to go to sleep, but I don't want to lose you. And they said, we've been with you your whole life. We will be with you the rest of your life. Go to sleep. When you wake up, we will be here. I'm all, really? Didn't quite believe it or trust it, but hey, you gotta sleep, right?
Sure.
Go to sleep. I wake up. Good morning, Gary. How are you? They start going, Zoe. Just talking about all kinds of different things. Now, this is over 30 years ago that this happened. I'm hanging around with a friend of mine that was also homeless. He's from India, and he's asking them questions, and they're answering his questions through me, talking through my mouth. While I'm driving my truck down the freeway, and we're all in there, I could think, I could drive, but they could talk to him and answer questions about India, Hinduism, his family, and all of this he'd been through as a kid that he didn't understand. So I went through this and I'm answering different questions for various people, and I'm going, wow, I'm going to be like a millionaire in the next 6 months. All of a sudden I got this ability with something. One of my friends at the time says, dude, this is not an insult to you, but whatever this is speaking through you is very, very intelligent. I realize, I feel it going through me.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Let's just go back just a second. Now, you know,
Okay.
everyone's going to say, okay, well, he was homeless, he was on drugs, whatever, and we know you weren't. Okay, it was just circumstantial. All right. I just want to let everybody out there know that. Okay, you know, that just think that homeless people, you know, they have this connotation in their minds about what they are. Gary is not. All right. Okay, so go ahead.
I just made bad decisions. My whole hard life, Zoe, was my own fault with bad decisions. Yeah, I did the partying and the bands and getting drunk and throwing up on my shoes, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at this, no, my money went to survival. Food, gas, you know what I didn't have money for drugs at this point. But anyways, the voices talked to me. I would say it was maybe 6 to 7 months went by. This voice is explaining things to people, answering questions. And then one day I'm reading a book and I'm laying in the back of my truck and I'm looking out at the sky. It was down in Riverside, California. It's like 113 degrees, very hot. I'm in the back of this truck and I'm looking at the sky and there's clouds and a little frame pulls out of the cloud and goes back to shape like a UFO.
Oh, sure.
And
I've seen that.
You see what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
So, wow, that was a trip. Did I really see what I just saw?
Exactly.
It pulls out, goes back.
Sure.
So then we're the ones talking to you. And at that point, I realized it's these ETs. Now, I'm going to go back to before I was homeless.
Okay.
Okay. My first was a mothership. It was in Santa Clara, California. And I was driving a friend home from work. We went back to my house, hung out for a bit, was driving him home, and I'm talking, and he goes silent. And I look over, and there's just this thing the size of a shopping mall. And it's about, I would say, 300 yards from the ground, and it's spinning very slow. Okay? I start flipping out going, dude, it's a UFO. I was like, UFO. And he's all, no, it's not. I don't want to go near it. I don't want to go near it. He's freaking out. So I turn and I start driving towards this thing, and there's two more on each side of my car following us, and he's like fetal positioned and starts to cry. I don't go near this thing. I'm scared of it. So I'm tripping on this big, huge thing, and finally he's freaking out too much. I turn around, I take him home. As soon as I turn around, it's gone. They're all gone, all three of them. Okay. So in hindsight, now I realize I'm talking with UFOs after seeing a little wireframe thing pop out of the cloud. And I asked, what was this whole experience about with the mothership? And they told me when I was a little kid, they implanted something in me, and that was just like flicking on a light switch, Zoe. That
Yeah,
set me on the spiritual.
right. Well, I have an implant too. So,
So you,
and it's been proven, yeah, by, doctors. I've been to specialists. And I could tell that story, but they were blown away actually, and they didn't want to touch it. They want to take it out. So, I mean, instead of sitting in the doctor's office and like they normally would when you have a brain scan or whatever, and talking to them about it, the doctor surgeon came in and said, I need you to come in here and look at this. And she actually took me into the x-ray room, and then that's where, they go. We don't go. And she said, I want you to see this right here. She goes, out of my 30 years of practice, I've never seen this. And I'm like, well, you got to take it out. And she goes, I'm not going to take this out. I have no idea what it is. And no, I won't do it. And so it's there, you know, it's there. I also found out that they can move around in your body. So if they're located, they can move to a different location in your body once they're found. So I went in, I had another head x ray, and it was gone. However, it appeared somewhere else. Okay. And this is normal. I talked to Preston Dennett. He's a famous ufologist.
yeah,
And this happens. So I know
but that's
it's not just a bunch of bullshit. And what you're talking
no,
about is not bullshit. So
no.
yeah, so you have an implant.
Yeah, and they said with seeing that big mothership that night, and that was basically turning on like a light switch that got me on a spiritual pursuit. And I started reading on different forms of spirituality, UFOs, and I mean, when I was a little kid, I read Chariots of the Gods, and it was interesting. I always thought it would be neat to see a UFO,
Oh,
but
sure.
never with Zoe until I seen that big. This thing was the size of a shopping mall. It was huge, and it completely changed my life. I mean, a lot of my friends joked and had fun. Hey, Gary, you seen the little green men lately? And I'm all, dude, you don't even know that that is crying. Will not admit to this day that that happened.
Oh my God.
Oh, dude, no, I don't know what you're talking
Well,
about.
sometimes people black out, and they have to go under hypnosis to remember. And, it's like PTSD. It's similar to that. Come on, really. It's like when you have such a traumatic event, you don't remember and you kind of don't even want to go there,
No,
It,
and you know what, Zoe, let me say this. Now that you say this, and I hate to say it, a lot of this that causes people to be so scared of it is Hollywood and these movies that they're monsters and they're this and they're that. And that's why people get freaked out when they see them. You know what I mean?
yeah, I've talked to that with actually a guy last time about the paranormal. Okay, this is the same thing. Okay, and yeah, that's what they're doing. However, now they're introducing it into society by admitting that there are and they call them UAPs. Okay, they changed the name.
Yes.
Unidentified aerial phenomenon now. So people are going to be fed into their subconscious mind that now these are real and we're taking care of it. Yeah, right, Gary.
Yeah, I got you, Zoe. Yeah. They have no clue or comprehension of what these beings are about.
Exactly.
My Now, you know what I say? I put it like this. this, Zoe. You look back, they got cave paintings that are millions of years old that have ETs and these little
Oh,
saucers.
sure. Hieroglyphs. Sure.
Paintings, okay? They got paintings of Jesus with UFOs up
Yeah.
in the sky.
Oh, I know.
Okay?
They're right in the paintings. You can see them. I mean, all
They
you
got
got to, I mean, you can go on the internet and find those. That's easy.
easy to find. Now, with that, in 2012, the Mexican government released all these artifacts, Mayan artifacts, with straight, big-eyed aliens, okay, and saucers, okay. You look now, it is so ingrained in our society that every type of kids product, from their clothes, their shirts, their underwear, their bed sheets, their lunch boxes, their backpacks. My little daughter has these, okay? Corporate logos, marketing strategies with that symbol of an alien. Now, people are saying they're evil, they're going to attack us, they're going to eat us. Come on. Would we really go through all of this if they were going to attack us?
Well, I find I find it interesting too, because everyone's wearing alien clothes, or they have the logo, or like you said, the lunch boxes and that stuff. So you can see how the government is doing its work. I'm really into conspiracy theories, by the way, of indoctrinating us. I think that's the correct word, into thinking that they're good. Okay, that they're no longer scary, to prepare us for the true event.
Okay, can I say something here now? Now that we've addressed this fact that they've been on the planet
Sure.
for years, okay, I don't think they mean us harm. With that being said, you hear of people, reptilians, and they're doing this and they're being tortured and da-da-da-da. This is happening.
Yeah.
These people encounters are 100% real, but it's not the intentions of the ETs. This is a reflection of humanity's and non-humanity and a person's choices, what they choose to learn in a life before their contract. It's going to determine your interaction with these beings, as well as I dealt with a couple of people that just completely badmouth them and say this and say that. If someone came to me and badmouthed my family, I would not be nice to them.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah.
Anybody. It's human nature. You know what I'm saying? So these people having the negative encounters, it's 100% real. But it's what, I mean, from what I've learned, we're going through a reincarnation process. Kind of one of your questions is, it's rough here. This planet is rough. You've been to the other side. You know it's nicer over there, okay?
Yeah, I told you that, Yeah, it's called OBE, out of body experience. I know what it's like, yeah.
Exactly.
It's not dense and horrific to like down here. Do you have an answer for me? Why the hell do we come here?
Okay, I do. I have an answer for this, Zoe. I wanted to say it before we came on and did this, but I thought I'd wait and this would come up. What we're going through, this is what they've explained to me. We're going through a process that's called complete physical human understanding. This is the beginning process to get to where my guides are not the big-eyed, big-headed, alien-looking individuals. They look exactly like us. They're these Nordics. Okay? We're just starting the process to get where they're at. They use 100% of their brain. We use 3 to 5%.
Right.
We're just out. We need to learn what it is to be human. In order to learn what it is to be human, you got both the good and the bad. How would you know the good without the bad?
Okay, so that's like one step in Buddhism, one step in hell.
It all comes back to that kind of, Zoe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Like this. I use this as an example. I call it from Dahmer to love. Okay? This reincarnation process starts out like Jeffrey Dahmer. Everybody knows Jeffrey Dahmer. Very heinous individual, right? Okay. That's one of the first things I ask when these beings start communicating with me, Zoe. Why in the world would somebody do what this individual did? It made no sense to me. I couldn't wrap my mind around this. And it's okay, this is why he did this. He just started the reincarnation process. He's got a blank slate with no opportunities to be physically born into a life. So you go in and you kill people and you do things like this that creates a blueprint for you to be born into bodies to pay back these karmic debts that you wronged them. Okay? Say you pay back the debt where he killed and ate you. Okay. Then you get past that life, that debt's paid back. You have an opportunity. Well, I could be born in to be husband and wife with this individual. Then you're having kids. Then you have relationships that you flop back and forth with lives to learn these lessons. So it starts out with Dahmer and ends in love once he learns the process. Now, the thing with the beings, when you're dealing with the ETs, it's a soul contract. It's a volunteer process. Nothing is forced upon anybody. You volunteer to work with them. Myself, 113 lives working with these beings to get to the point where I'm at right now with the clarity. It starts out with the draconian, the bad, the evil, and it evolves to love.
Wow.
Everything in the incarnation process develops like that.
Okay, this is really interesting because I know you just mentioned draconian. I have a famous guy that has come on. He's actually famous, okay, and his whole concept about it is the draconians is the first thing he spoke about. So it's interesting that you mentioned draconians.
Right.
So I'm not really sure what the hell is a draconian. I mean, I should know. You know, I do enough interviews, but I have actually never heard that word because he spoke so fast. You know, other than from you. So what is that? Is that the Jeffrey Dahmer type person?
No, a draconian would be a half human, half lizard.
Okay.
It's like I got a friend that lives in Sparks. He said, "Yeah, I got this guy over my house, and he's sitting on the floor up against the wall, and he's a human, and all of a sudden he turned into a lizard and turned back into a human."
Okay, I have a guy. That's actual true evidence. I have someone coming on to talk about that, and what you just said,
Okay.
the reptilians. That is absolutely true. He's coming on next week. He's coming on next week to talk about it.
Draconian, reptilian, same thing.
Okay. Okay. I get you.
I want to get off topic, but they also told me a thing about the dinosaurs. Now, when school, did they not teach us that the dinosaurs were the beginning of time? And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That was the second part, I think, but I don't know.
And Darwinism and it evolved.
Yeah.
That means there's humans on this planet way before that. And what they had to do is develop the genetics and DNA for these reptilian beings, okay? They're used in other planets. They interact with people here.
Yeah, they do.
Earth is where they get all the genetics from. It's like a genetic developmental warehouse. So this whole dinosaur thing was all about developing the genetics for the draconian, the reptilians. They had to run it in Darwinism real time. Right. So it went millions of years. They got to where it was at. They realized it worked. It went back to the humans. That's why there's a missing link. Okay. All right. So we were talking about the draconians. Now we kind of know. So move ahead to where you're talking about I think we were talking about the spirits and the other side. I can't really remember. Yeah, we were talking about how it would be easier on the other side than to be here. Yeah. So what other information have you gotten besides what we've been told right now? I mean, what you've been told right now, that the end phase of what you're talking about, the reincarnation, is truly the love part. Okay. It's to ascend from, I hate to use the word evil, though, but from evil to love, from bad to good. Now, let's take this a step further. Say you learn this whole process of complete human understanding. That's what we're going through, humanity right now. Right now, from what I understand, is going to be a recycle, reset. We're all talking about guru and this and that and the other. Something's going to happen. The intentions of humanity on humanity have gotten bad. The world out there has gotten wild. People are raising their kids to scam and get over. They say when this happens, a lot of people start doing the Jeffrey Dahmer thing to create karmic debt. So when this recycles and starts over again, just like the Hindus call it Kali Yuga, it's the fourth cycle of the planet. And that's what we're in right now. Okay, I absolutely have to put in. I absolutely 100% agree with you.
It's actually called the 12,000 year event. And I've
So,
done a lot of interviews.
yes,
That is, I call it that. Okay. But it happens, when, like you said, the dinosaurs and they're gone, Noah's Ark, it's the planet's covered in water, and it happens. There's scientific evidence that things are shifting in the solar system and stuff like that. Then there's the contactees that have been told this. Okay, so
yes.
I agree with you on that. That's all I
Okay.
wanted to say.
So now let's take this one step further. Okay, we go through the complete human understanding. We've completed this on Earth. These beings that I deal with that look like us, and I've encountered them face to face, unfortunately, excuse me, I never realized this until after it's happened. They've gone through what we are going through right now, Zoe, here on Earth. We are no different than them. They complete human understanding. There's 78 other forms of mental and physical development to get to the point where they're at, where they use 100% of the same brain we use 3 to 5% of. And they're one step from being God. God, higher power, sorry, I shouldn't probably use that word, higher power, is our higher power, their higher power is the same thing. And this is an energy that helps us to make the decisions before we're born. Make sure universal karmic law is adhered to. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So once with human understanding, we've got 78 other forms. Now, people talk about parallel dimensions
yeah.
and all of them. There are a dimension for each one of these levels of learning. How about that? They're all parallel right here next to us. They cross over intentionally and unintentionally. So once we finish this reincarnation process, we are at the very beginning. We got 78 other forms to go to get to the point where they're at. Now, the big bug-headed, what I call the Gongolay, they're halfway through this process. They're like worker bees for these humanoids or Nordics, and they've developed the physical bodies, the plants, the animals, the planets, self-sustaining biostructure. That's why they're the ones doing the abductions. Okay? They're very clinical. They don't have feelings. They don't give a shit either way, Zoe. It's part of your soul contract if you're involved like this, like with me. I deal with what I call the Sing Yang. Those are the Nordics, the humans, okay? They develop the bodies for these Nordics. They work alongside each other. And if
Uh,
you talk,
I'm gonna
if you're,
butt in again.
huh,
I'm considered a hybrid Nordic,
okay,
because of my blood type
I've
and
heard,
my color of my eyes. My blood type, I think 15% in the world of the population has RH negative, and the eye color is 3%. But I'm a hybrid Nordic. Are
I've
they
heard
good?
this.
Are they good? Are they bad? I don't know. What do you think?
I think, people, people are people. You have good ones, you have bad ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's yours? I in no way, shape, or form doubt. With what I've been through, what I've seen, I cannot doubt what you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm on the good side of it. They're the light workers of it. I've also heard that they're also the bad ones. I mean, when we're talking about the stuff we're talking about, it's always, it's going to be, like you said, one step in Buddhism, one step in hell. You hear the positive and then you hear the negative. So, the different races, like with you, I just want to know this. The reptilians you're saying are good, or are they both one step in
They
Buddhism, one step in hell?
they could be either, Zoe. It depends on the human
Okay, I get you. So they could be either.
who's learning.
Okay,
They're, these beings are way beyond violence. That they've evolved past that. The violence in all this is a manifestation of Earth and humanity, and us learning what we need to learn. Once again, you got to learn the good, you got to learn the bad. You wouldn't know good if you didn't know bad, and it starts with bad and it ascends to good.
that's really interesting. I feel like my life has done that. It's very similar to yours. Really
Yes.
bad, really, really bad for a hell of a lot longer than you. Well, no, I guess by the time you had your awakening, we we're probably about the same age. To really good. So I agree with you on that one.
Well, I'll say this, Zoe. My life is still at this point not a walk in the park. My life's hard. It's been hard my whole life. From being a little kid, my brother beat me up every day. My father was very mean. He thought it was funny to watch my brother beat me up. Okay. So I've had it since I was a kid. Right now, I just, in December, every year in December, Zoe, I'm okay. I'm going to survive December. December's my birthday, December 2nd. December,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for laughing.
what's so funny about that?
I don't know why it's so funny because it's so horrible. I know you're going to say something horrible about your birthday, but I think about December as being horrific too because of what they do and everything else. So when you said December, I don't like it either, and I know what you're going to go into. I'm sorry, but that just really flipped a switch off me of I'm sorry.
You can read it.
It was probably you're gonna say it's bad to have your birthday.
Yeah, well, either every year. I mean, when I was younger and I was doing my partying in the bands and all that, every year I would get arrested. I would total a car.
Oh,
In
right.
December. This year, my past 8 years, I say, hey, I'm Johnny Depp honest. I don't lie. When this first happened to me, Zoe, I went, if I lie about my life and the things I've done and everything, and I get caught on that, nobody's going to believe a damn thing I say. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know,
So,
but a lot of people they keep this all hidden. That's why I wanted to bring that up in the beginning. And it's
yeah,
bullshit. I don't believe anybody that says that their life has been perfect. Or if they
I
do,
don't.
I have no interest anymore in talking to anyone about small talk. It just bores the fuck out of me. Oh, sorry.
Well, you don't offend me. I mean,
Woo!
I'm a metal musician, and so that no way offends me. My kid's mom tells me, Zoe, I need to learn how to peel the onion one layer at a time.
I
And
know.
I don't. I just give it out. This is it. I'll barf it out on somebody. It is what it is. These are my life choices. This December, I'm on Medicaid. I've lived below the level of poverty for the past 8 years. Okay. So I'm on Medicaid. I'm insulin dependent diabetic. And I got cholesterol. I've had COVID 3 times and have survived this
Oh
in
my.
this condition. Okay. So December 2nd, on my damn birthday, they cut me off of my meds and I no notice, no nothing.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry for laughing.
No, I got no meds. So wait in December. Okay. Later on in December, my 10-year-old daughter, okay, is being beat up by a 10-year-old boy, but she doesn't want to be his boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay. He's hit her, he's picked her, he's choked girls. I've been to the police 2 times about this. We finally, at Christmas, had to yank her out of her school because she had become a trend, and another boy kicked her in the back. She had a bruise on her back. We took her to the doctor. She would be in tears. Her mother's crying, going, I'm scared to drop her off at the school. This was my effing December. Every December for me is like this. So, first half of my life was rough. It was fun. I partied. I had fun. I went through the homeless bit. That was rough. My life is not. It's getting better. This year, Zoe. This year is better. It's already started. I've received so many good compliments. I had basically a guy on the internet that is basically a physicist. This guy tells me right now, but you are the most important person on this planet right now with this information you're trying to get out. With this whole reincarnation. Now, let me finish this. I mentioned these different developmental cycles we go to
Yeah,
get through the 100 brain.
sure.
This is a type cycle that creates energy that builds almost like a cloud and then drops into these mid-casual astral planes and starts another round of humanity. This is why our universe is expanding. These scientists say the universe is expanding
Oh yeah.
because this is happening. This is why we have deja vus. They have gone through this. We have gone through this. And a friend of mine asked, "Do these aliens must think I'm an idiot or look down on me because of this stupid ass shit that I do?" And
Right.
they told me, "No, we understand because we went through that. We did exactly what you're doing right now, and we understand why you're doing it. Because I've done some stupid stuff." So
Okay, so Gary, tell me this. Can you tell us how to develop? You
how
know,
what?
you're talking about this reincarnation and everything else, and someone's trying to figure out like, okay, well, what do I
Oops,
do? What do I do?
froze.
Drugs? You don't do drugs.
You're frozen, Zoe.
We're frozen. You're frozen. Oh my God. The second you said that word. Okay. Just keep talking. You'll come back on. There you are. You're on.
Yeah.
Okay. You're fine. Okay. So go ahead.
And she froze again.
Yeah.
If I understand what you asked me, is how did this planet and humanity and all this originally start?
No, I'm talking
I
about
asked Zoe, and
I'm talking
they
about
basically said it's beyond our
It is. Okay. So there you go. You're frozen again. It's just because a lot of the times they don't want this information to get out. There are some bad, stuff going on. So
there are bad energies out there.
They're freezing this up because of that.
When we die, are an energy. They are an energy.
Yeah.
They're not born into a physical life, like live birth like we are. They manifest physically by.
There you go, frozen again. Okay, repeat that because we were frozen once again.
Yeah, we were frozen. What did I start out with? Okay, they're not born into a physical body like we are. Are we frozen again?
Yeah, we are.
I think we are.
Yeah, well, just keep talking. keep talking. Okay, so okay, I was asking you, and this is really important. I want to know, what does humanity do to get something out of what you're talking about? They're going to be like, okay, so I understand you. So what do I do?
We keep freezing, Zoe.
I know, it's because they don't want us to talk about this. Okay, can you hear me? Gary, okay, I know this is crazy.
Now.
Okay, so Gary, I know this is crazy. So let's just get to the point. Go ahead. Go for it.
Okay. So many people ask, what planet are these beings from? They're not from a planet. They don't have a mother and father that have intercourse, get impregnated, give live birth. They're past all of that, okay? They manifest by manipulating molecular structures.
Sure.
And a kind of biosuit. So they're taking genetics from Earth to different planets. They're not coming there to here. They're taking from here and going out in the universe, and these cycles I mentioned where it creates the energy and humanity starts and da-da-da-da. That's why the universe is expanding. It's not like they have a planet with a house and a garage and 2 cars and kids in college. They are spiritual beings that manifest physically to interact and work with us.
Yeah.
And their physical developmental projects is what they call it.
Okay. Fantastic. Right. Absolutely fantastic. So, damn, I mean, I know you got a lot more to say, so I guess we'll have to have you on the show again. And I just want to say that I really appreciate you coming on, and I think this is going to spike some interest on possibly you going into more. Okay?
Okay. I'm willing to do that.
So I just want to say thank you so much for coming on, and we're going to leave everybody on a cliffhanger.
Okay. There's the saying, Zoe, you sell the sizzle, not the steak. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But no, thank you very, very much for giving me the opportunity. Thank your husband as well. It was a pleasure meeting him briefly, and thank you guys for the time and giving me the time.
All right. Okay. Don't click off. Oh, Gary, it's been so much fun. It's been so much fun. Okay, we talked about the cliffhanger, but I just want to say thank you so much for coming on, and I hope everybody out there enjoyed this. And if you want to find out about Gary White, you're going to go on Facebook and just put in Gary White. Okay, that's how you're going to find him, right, Gary?
Gary W. White. Now, you'll come up with 2 profiles because I got one that got hacked. One of them, I got a little daughter on my lap. That one you don't want to go to. There's one with the black leather jacket and a cowboy hat.
Oh,
that's me.
Yeah, that's like the ad. Okay, cool.
Gary W. White is what it's under.
Oh, Gary W. White. Okay, There we go. We got it. All right. Because I know he's got a lot of info there. All right, guys. So thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again.